That's
So that means the downstairs. That means the downstairs is working.
That's when I can't find anything for 2 weeks.
Right.
Every time we have company, I can't find anything for 2 weeks. It actually stashes everything.
That's what Lily and Gray were going around. I was cooking and Wednesday they were cleaning. I'm like, we're hiding. I was like, don't hide too well.
Guess I better silence my phone.
Okay, son, you ready? Alan's here. Joey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present, and we'll begin with the invocation with Councilmember Walsh.
Dear Lord, we give thanks after a week of family and friends, remembering the things that are important to us. And thanks as we enter the winter solstice, a time of darkness where we look for light, light from you and light from others. I pray that you bless us with your wisdom and your peace, and allow us to have the grace to shine forth on others in this season. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on our agenda is citizens regarding agenda items who've registered to speak. Want to do what we do every meeting when we do have citizens speak, just to make sure we're all on the same page, because we want these our meetings to go well. These meetings, when we have the public invited to watch and to become part of this agenda by speaking, we want to make sure that we do this in the right way. When you come up to speak, we ask that you give us your name, and after you've done this, you have 2 minutes to make a statement. And this shouldn't be a problem if you're prepared. This is not a question and answer time. We'll consider your statement and try to find a way to address your concern. When your 2 minutes are up, Ms. Lewis, right there, will have an alarm that will sound, and she will let you hear it. When the alarm sounds, we ask that you stop. If you have notes, you may leave those with Ms. Lewis so they'll be put into the record. And we appreciate everyone that's here. So, Ms. Lewis, if you will call our folks that have signed up to speak.
Mr. Rob Clapper.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city manager. My name is Rob Clapper, and I stand here tonight as a homeowner and a taxpayer who cares deeply about the safety, character, and quality of life of our neighborhood. I want to speak specifically about Old Colony Road and respectfully ask the city to remove any reference, direct or implied, of this road being used in the current or future plans for this development. I want to be clear. I fully understand you're voting tonight to redesignate land that you already own and have annexed. I fully understand you need to change it from agriculture use to a planned development classification. However, those actions apply only to what happens inside the city's boundary. They do not extend to Old Colony Road. Old Colony Road is not city property. It is state-owned, South Carolina Department of Transportation controlled roadway, and neither the city nor the developer can designate it as an access point without SCDOT review and approval. Right now, that approval is not even possible because no traffic impact study has been conducted on Old Colony Road. The TIA received early on discusses broad project effects, but does not meet the state's requirement for a TIA specific to Old Colony Road. No permits have been filed, and the developer has not submitted any access permits, roadway modification requests, or engineering plans to SCDOT. No planning materials have been provided to SCDOT. And the most important point is this: we do not want to be connected to this project. We want as county residents living on a quiet, state-maintained road. We chose this neighborhood for its safety, privacy, and peaceful character. We want our road and our quality of life to remain exactly as they are. We absolutely support economic development. We recognize that ball fields and tourism can bring great energy to a city. Our only request is simple. Please don't include our neighborhood or Old Colony Road in the footprint of your big, beautiful development. We are simply asking the city to reflect that reality by ensuring Old Colony Road is removed from all access considerations and that future planning acknowledges it is under state jurisdiction, not city control. Thank you for your time and your continued service to our community.
Thank you, Mr. Clapper.
Miss Kristen Derrick.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Dr. Kristen Derrick, and my family and I live on Old Colony Road. Thank you for giving me a moment to speak tonight. First, I want to say how much we value the neighborhood we share. We love our road, love our neighbors, and we are proud of the quiet, safe environment that exists there today. That is why so many of us are here tonight, not to oppose growth, but to ensure that any growth honors the character and safety of the community that already exists. Old Colony Road was never created to handle commercial or heavy traffic, and our neighborhood does not wish to see it altered into something it was never meant to be. The blind curves, narrow shoulders, absence of sidewalks, and the limited width make it unsafe for additional or high-volume vehicles tied to major development. This isn't a matter of preference, it's a matter of physical safety. We also now understand that Lawrence County cannot intervene, which means the responsibility falls directly to us, the residents, to advocate for the safety, character, and integrity of our neighborhood that is not in the city but is in the unincorporated county. And we take that responsibility seriously. As stated earlier, to date, no permits have been filed, no engineering plans have been reviewed, and the traffic impact study does not account for Old Colony Road being used as a primary or secondary access point. Even though in its current form, it is one of the only routes available. So how can anyone from the Planning Commission or this body now include Old Colony Road, the state-owned road that is not part of the city's jurisdiction, part of this development discussion? This is not just about personal preference. It is about proper planning, safety standards, county jurisdiction, and respecting the established residential nature of Old Colony Road. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Derrick.
Miss Kayla Hopfier.
Good evening. My name is Kayla Hopfier. I am a resident on Old Colony Road. We intentionally chose to make our home in an area where city's reach ends, a quiet, peaceful place off the beaten path. Here, there is no noise to drown out nature, no constant traffic to disrupt wildlife, no light pollution to dim the night sky. 17 homes and 10 generational landowners live along Old Colony Road. We have farmland, children who ride their bikes, families who walk their pets, and even a neighbor who uses his wheelchair to travel the road with his caregiver. This is a slow-paced, safe haven for all of us, a place with deep roots that have helped build this community. Turning our street into a commuter cut-through would immediately and permanently create a serious public safety hazard. Our peaceful environment would be replaced with noise pollution, increased traffic, and heightened danger for our children, pets, and property. It is an unacceptable trade-off. This proposed change offers no benefit to the current residents who clearly asked from the beginning not to be included in this plan. We are not opposed to progress. We are opposed to sacrificing the long-established safety, character, and quality of life existing residents for the convenience of redirecting traffic. We respectfully request a properly noticed public hearing specifically addressing Old Colony Road with full participation from Lawrence County officials and impacted residents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Stephen Lawrence.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, other members of the city of Clinton. My name is Stephen Lawrence. I am a co-trustee of a trust that holds possession of some land that was inherited from James and Dorothy Hopfier. The property has a right-of-way access that can be utilized that would connect with Old Colony Road. I grew up and came to stay with my grandparents for many times over the years to appreciate the nature of the road, the nature of that part of Clinton, which is not technically Clinton. This development that has come into play seems like a very fascinating project, but I don't see why it should be allowed to destroy the character of a road that has been rural in nature, has been a very peaceable road, and is only a state highway because of Witten Center, which was formerly Witten Village. I grew up knowing it as Witten Village. And I ask that serious consideration be given to what will be the consequences of making access to that road for this development, which will certainly increase traffic and not to the well-being of the residents of that road. I also understand and didn't realize that there were some questions of annexation. Where that may come into play on our property is something that we're going to have to study. I hope that's not any factor anytime soon. But I hope all of this will be considered, that the care of the people of that road will always be foremost in everyone's mind. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Sylvia Clayton.
Good evening. I'm Sylvia Clayton and a resident of Old Colony Road. My family has lived there for well over 100 years, as have the Hopfiers and Mr. Pete Copeland's family. We have fourth and fifth generation grandchildren and great-grandchildren that have chosen to come back to Clinton. I was an oncology nurse at Gibbs Cancer Center for years, but I chose to drive back and forth in order to come home to my farm. Before the last meeting, we received a letter informing us of the zoning. It said nothing of the plan to use Old Colony Road as an access road to the complex. We have been told over and over that it was not in their plans to use Old Colony Road as an access. We are agricultural land. We have farm machinery that crosses the road to the shop, and we use the Old Colony Road to access our other fields on the road. And we have livestock as well as 1,500 plus Christmas trees and all. We have children and grandchildren that are running back and forth across the road to parents and grandparents. I have older grandchildren that are even driving some of the farm machinery. Then we have the elementary school at the head of the road that already causes a dangerous situation at pickup time every day. Those cars are backed out Old Colony Road and down onto Springdale Drive, and there are those parked cars. I can just see somebody plowing into the back of them sometime as they come down through there. We had a mess when the city was logging the proposed land with those big trucks coming up and down our road. one of the big trucks with the machinery on the back didn't clear the power lines in front of our house. It wrapped the power lines around the truck, pulling the lines down and breaking 2 power poles in half and bringing the transformer crashing into the road, spilling chemicals that have soaked into our yard and killed our grass. It endangered the driver's life as well as my grandchildren that were playing in the yard. The power lines pulled our basketball goal downward, breaking the pole, as well as ruining our pear crop as it pulled hundreds of pears off of the pear trees that were not ripe. And I hope that you will see that this road is not feasible for a main thoroughfare. The school children, our children.
Go ahead and finish.
Go ahead and finish.
Go ahead and finish.
The school children, our children, the farm machinery will all be dangerous situations. And, you know, I know that the single landowner on Highway 72 that refuses to let them come across, I mean, there's other land there that the Clinton Economic Development own, you know. I said, why not do a trade deal or something that you could work out another way to come across there? Because I just do not think that it's feasible to use that road. It's just going to put a lot of dangerous situations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's all, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, next thing on our agenda is to approve the minutes from the November the 3rd meeting, council meeting, and I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes if that's the will of this council.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Cook,
Second.
second from Mr. Smith. Any corrections or additions or deletions that we need to do?
Well, Mayor, although I know I was not present at this meeting, but on page 5, and we probably can clear it later, but I would like some clarity on what was written about FEMA from Finance Director Stephen. I don't know if that's worded correctly.
Well, that's something that we can do offline. That's the minutes, just record that we
Right, and
spoke
also
through
on
that,
page
so
4 as well.
I would bring that up with him later, and we can get that straightened out for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we have 2 proclamations. One, for the city council to consider December as Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month in the city of Clinton. And I'll entertain a motion to proclaim that.
So moved.
A motion from Ms. Waltz, second from Mr. Kirkendall. Questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And we are so proclaimed. Also, we had Mount Moriah Baptist Church's 170th anniversary. And I think we have members here today. Ms. Williams made that proclamation at church, but we wanted to duly recognize the Mount Moriah Church here at the city. So if we have folks that are here, we want to make sure we are able to give that proclamation to you for your church. So y'all come up. This is a great 170 years. I told Ms. Williams it's almost as old as me. Y'all get it here. There you go.
So on behalf of the city of Clinton, our mayor, our city manager, Reverend Murray, we present this proclamation back to Mount Moriah Baptist Church for being the longest I believe, Black church in the city of Clinton. So congratulations to 170 years. I know you're not quite 170 yet, cousin, but congratulations, y'all.
Okay, we're, Mr. Matters, turn it over to you.
Good evening. Excuse me. Item number 7 on our agenda tonight is for City Council to consider first reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance within the City of Clinton related to establishing an RS2, which is high-density, single-family residential zoning district, and other matters related thereto. If you remember back in June, on June the 23rd, we did the second reading of a similar ordinance for R3. So what this is in sense doing is removing any ability in the RS2 zone to have any apartments or other type housing other than single-family dwellings.
Okay, all right, we've got the recommendation. This has been before the Planning Commission,
Yes, it has.
and it has been recommended by the Planning Commission.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and recommended by staff, so I'll entertain a motion if that's the will of council.
So moved.
Have a motion from Ms. Walsh, is there a second? Second from Ms. Cogsdale. I was having one of those moments.
170-year-old.
170-year-old moments, that's right. Questions or comments?
Where is this property located again? What street? Is that a street near it?
Ms. Williams, it's not a property, it's a zoning designation. We have a zoning designation of R2 currently. What this does with the RS2, it removes any multifamily dwellings from that zoning designation. RS2 will be single-family residential only. And then we'll also have an R2 designation, which is currently on the books, that will allow single-family and multifamily designation, similar to the ordinance that we did in June of 25.
Okay, gotcha.
Just clarifies it.
Just
yeah.
clarify it,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, yeah. Any other
you.
questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 8, City Council to consider second reading of an ordinance number 2025-009-002 to annex property into the City of Clinton consisting of 1.09 acres more or less, located on the southeast side of Highway 76, being designated as Lawrence County Tax Map number 658-00-00-026 and other matters related thereto. We did first reading in November, and this is second reading of that ordinance.
Okay, we have the recommendation from staff, and this is for second reading of this ordinance, so I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Cook.
This is not the one for Old
Second.
Colony, right?
Have a second from Ms. Walsh. Questions or comments?
There's a lot of land being cleared off right there. Is that all that we're zoning? Like right now, there's a lot going on right there. Is that all the?
That was zoned a couple of years ago. This is a portion of land, 1.09 acres, that adjoins the property that is being cleared at Renfro. Renfro, the Shell Creek subdivision.
So Renfro's clearing that back
No,
behind
it's
us.
Shell Creek subdivision that is doing that. and it was zoned as R3 a while back. So this gentleman that owns this 1.09 acres has applied to have his property also annexed. So we've done first reading of it, and we're doing second reading of that tonight, and it'll be zoned R3. And it has gone before the planning commission.
Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 9, City Council to consider second reading of an ordinance number 2025-011-002, amending the zoning designation of property within the city limits of Clinton consisting of, and that's 677 acres, more or less, located on East Corporate Center Drive, Post Drive, South Carolina Highway 72 East, and Old Colony Road, being identified as Lawrence County tax map numbers 901-34-01-004, 901-35-01-062, 901-35-01-033, and 901-35-01-034, and other matters related thereto. This is second reading of that ordinance, changing the zoning designation of the property that I just addressed.
Okay, we have the recommendation from staff and from the Planning Commission for second reading of this ordinance. So I'll entertain a motion to put this on the floor.
So moved.
Have a motion from Ms. Walsh,
Second.
a second from Ms. Cogstal. Okay, any questions or comments?
Question and
Yes,
comment,
ma'am.
I guess. I'm too am concerned about the access to this road. Because once we, and I understand Mr. Mehta was stating, I would like for him to state that we are not, you're saying we are not giving access to this road? Can you please explain this?
We,
What
as
you-
a city, cannot give access to Old Colony Road. There is a portion of Old Colony Road that is within the city limits where this property that we're rezoning resides. But as far as the folks that have spoken tonight, we cannot give that access. That is going to be left between the developer and DOT to work that out. And it is within his hopes that he can work out another route. And he, in the conversation I had with him today, he is pursuing other areas. But we as a city cannot grant that access.
So what are we granting?
We're rezoning the property from AR to Planned Development District. That's all we're doing.
So we're just rezoning.
We're rezoning.
We're
Right.
not making access to this road.
That is correct. It's just a rezone of the property that's already within the city limits.
But,
Go ahead.
but it's still, I just have concern about that because it's gonna eventually, rezoning it is gonna turn into commercial, right? A partial of that.
Yes, ma'am, there'll be commercial and there'll be residential on that property within the city limits that we're rezoning.
I just have concerns with that. I know this is a second reading and that council had originally approved the first. And I can't stop that, but I just have concern with doing that. I personally know having to deal with living next door to a commercial property, that how it affect me. So I can imagine how it would affect other residents. And I'm for growth, I'm all for what we're doing, but I thought it was initially said that Colony Road would not be affected at all. Period. I thought when we first did this plan, that's what was stated, that Colony Road would not be affected at all. So I'm really concerned about once we give or change the zone, then the next thing we know, we're going to be using Old Colony Road. And I gave you an example of something previous that we approved, and I just have big concerns about that.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns?
Can Mr. John or one of his guys speak on
I
this?
don't think right now. That's-
But it's my understanding, what we're talking about rezoning is the part of the old Colony Road that's inside city limits, that's within what was Witten Center property.
That is correct.
And that is all we're doing because, as has been stated and as you just stated, the access is another whole
That,
Can-
you are correct.
be kicked down the road.
That, you are correct. That is between the developer and DOT.
And because this right now is zone agricultural, we need to do this in order for the whole complete complex to be zoned appropriately.
That is, yes, sir.
Correct.
And this zone will not take effect until all of the paperwork is signed after Mr. Suter's due diligence period has expired and the contracts have all been executed. Then it will be rezoned on the books, not before.
And when does the due diligence period end?
It's in March. I don't know the specific date, but he had 180 days
Gotcha.
from the time we signed the original contract in August or July, I can't remember.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I do have a question. I feel like this came up in the planning commission meeting when they were looking at the same thing we're looking at, that they brought up Old Colony Road. Can you summarize, or someone here summarize what planning commission, how this came about?
It's field.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Council. This was discussed at the Planning Commission meeting about Old Colony Road. Their concerns was that the development needed to have a secondary entrance. There will be two entrances, one on Corporate Center Drive and then one off of Highway 72. But they felt that there would be necessary to have one on the southern part of this property, as well as the developer's intent is to have something on that side. Like Mr. Metters said, they are working with additional property owners and looking at other options, but at this time, that's the only public access that they have available to them through the DOT. So they're looking at different options and working with, other types of items available to them to get the access.
Okay. Does that answer?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Because this is not in the city limits, there would be no reason DOT would come to the city of Clinton for any reason on this. It would be a decision that DOT would make with the property owners that are on both sides of the road, correct?
Because it's a state right-of-way and public access to that, and because it's actually touching that property, the property owner has the ability to utilize that right-of-way up to whatever standards DOT needs or wants as far as increasing capacity for that roadway. But they have a transportation study that they're working with DOT on to identify any kind of issues that would need to be for upgrades for that road.
Other questions or comments?
If my memory is correct, the developer, when we spoke about this, said he would make every attempt not to use Old Colony Road. But that's all. In my opinion, he's continuing to do that, even going as far as trying to purchase additional property to make this road happen before using Old Colony Road. To this point, I feel like he's doing what he said he would do.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, if not, Okay, for second reading, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
Oppose.
We have, motion carries 6-1. Okay, Mr. Middles.
Item number 10, City Council to consider second reading of an ordinance amending and restating section 26-2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Clinton, South Carolina, to provide for the nonpartisan plurality method of determining the results of elections and other matters related thereto. This was originally taken up in first reading, was completed on April the 7th. And I discovered a couple of weeks ago that we had not actually gone through with this and done second reading. So that's what this is for. What that would mean, there would be no more runoff elections. If you were elected and you had one more vote than your competition, you would win the election. There would be no runoff.
Regardless how many parties in it, how many people's in it.
That's correct.
Correct. And we did this at the recommendation of the voters,
Voter
registration and the election commission.
It's because of the cost too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Cost,
poor
Cost for a
turnout.
runoff.
cost and turnout, yeah. Okay, we have, did we do a motion?
No.
No, we haven't. So
Sorry,
I'll
we just
entertain a
started
motion.
discussing it.
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion from Ms. Walsh, second from Mr. Cook. Thank y'all for straightening me out on that. Okay, any other questions or comments?
I did vote against this on first reading. I feel the same way. I think if you have 3 or 4 people running for the same seat, it complicates it if somebody wins with, let's say, 25% of the vote. So that's my rationale for not changing it.
Thank you.
And Mayor, the reason is because of the cost of a runoff? Is that the reason why Lawrence County proposed this to us?
It's
Was
a
because of-
pretty expensive proposition that we put on the taxpayers. And, very rarely, it's what they said, very rarely does it change anything. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use myself an example. During the March election, I won by 50%, but I had to have 50 plus 1. I was 1 vote short of winning that. And then we had, like you said, it was the same number basically that turned out the second time. We just had 1 person drop. Don't take my word on this. I was told about $7,500 is what it costs to do that, to pay people and run that election again for a second turn, for a runoff.
yeah, they're good reasons for both sides of thinking on that. So I don't think it's
Yeah, we just need
so
to get people
right and
to
wrong.
get out to vote.
And also in your packet is the letter that the city received from the voter registration office requesting that we do this.
Is that number correct, 7,500 to run the runoff?
I've heard that number. It's, they're paying poll workers, they're paying, their staff to put this election on, and it does get right expensive. Whether that's the correct number or not, I could see where it would cost several $1,000s to do that.
And then it costs the person that's running, because if they're in a runoff, they gotta still put something out there, whether it's new flyers or whatever, but,
And your ward may be different than mine. We had like 553 registered voters. Both times was less than 100 turnout, so. But yet you got people complaining.
Okay.
that's what we
All right.
change.
Anything else? We ready to vote? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no.
No.
And the motion carries 6-1. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Matters.
Mayor and Council, the next item on the agenda is City Council to consider approval of the purchase of a 2008 Sutphen 100-foot aerial platform truck. We have been talking this idea and understanding that eventually we're going to have to buy a longer ladder to reach the things that have been projected to come to Clinton. And our current ladder truck is not suitable for those heights. Even with the Nordson building that's out there right now, if you sit back far enough away from it, the 75 feet that the ladder reaches now will not service that building well enough. So we've looked at, and the fire department has looked at brand new trucks with a 100-foot platform on it, and they are in the range of over $2 million. So Jeremy and his staff have gone and looked at trucks online, and we found one in Florida. It's the one I described. It's a 2008 Sutton. It's in great condition, and we're asking council for the ability to purchase this truck at a cost not to exceed $500,000. And Mr. Stevens has laid out a way that we can pay for this truck and save the city $1.5 million in the purchase, and also getting what we need to service our town. We would use $190,000 from the current impact fee fund. We'd use $115,000 from reserves, and it would be replenished from the sale of properties owned by the CEDC when we receive the money from CEDC, and we get 50% of every property that the CEDC sells. So we would, use that $115,000 there, and then also use $195,000 from the pending sale of the Leonard property, which is expected to close very soon. The sales price on the Leonard property would be $1.56 million.
Okay, we have the recommendation from staff about approving the purchase of a 2008 Sutton 100-foot aerial platform truck. And to get this on the floor, I'll entertain a motion from council.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Kirkendall.
Second.
Second from Mr. Smith. Okay, questions or comments? I know that, is this?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. The not having a 100-foot aerial truck is going to affect our ISO ratings. It probably already does with the Nordson.
Some instances it can, yes, sir.
So I think that's part of this consideration. It costs everybody, everybody in the city money is on their insurance
And
side.
I'll also say this, before this truck is paid for or purchased, we have a group that's going to go and inspect the truck. We're taking our Sutphen representative with us to look the truck over. It has passed all its recent inspections. We would make sure that those inspections are up to date before we do purchase.
Okay. Ms. Williams.
My concern is that our planning, because if we was needing this, didn't we need this when we was doing the budget? Then, this is the same, we're purchasing the same thing that you have came to us before with the purchase of police cameras. All of this is after we have approved a budget. This was needed, so why wasn't this put in the budget?
Well, all of the things that have come up recently that are proposed for Clinton were not here before the budget was passed.
Cameras was definitely, surely we didn't just come up
Well,
a couple of months ago to say the police need new cameras.
back to what I said when we purchased the cameras, we did have that in the budget, but we took it out because the police department thought that our current camera system would hold up for another year and then we could rebudget. But the system failed. So we had to go ahead and do that.
And we didn't know we need the 100-foot area platform,
It's been talked about, but with everything that's planned to come to Clinton, and with the completion and the Nordson going into production, kind of, proceeded to have us look at this a little more closely and jump on what we could to save the city money down the road. If we don't purchase this truck, they've looked for a lot of other trucks similar to this one. This is the best one they found, and it will save the city in the long run $1.5 million on this purchase.
Any other questions? Plus to help our ISO ratings. I mean, and that affects everybody. That doesn't affect just the city. That affects every taxpayer.
So what is the lifespan of a truck like this? Beyond where we're getting, because it's a 2000.
It's a 2008.
Yeah.
That is correct. But Jeremy feels that we can keep it for 8 to 10 years with proper maintenance and those things going forward. And we will make sure that it is properly maintained.
Does this
we don't want to redo this in 2 or 3 years.
This doesn't replace a truck, it supplements what we have.
That is correct. Eventually, we're going to have to build another substation if things keep growing out toward the interstate like they are. And this truck will be housed at the new substation there when it is built. Excuse me. And then we will maintain the current truck we have because it will is better maneuverable for the tight streets we have in the downtown area and through our mill villages.
I would suggest, that when we get ready to do budget again, that each department, and I think Councilman Cook, you had mentioned something about each department coming and talking with council to let us know of needs prior to in this be included in budget, because I don't see how we're not over budget with all that we have that we're wanting to add. I look at and Mr. Stevens says, we are, we're right there. We're in good shape, but how can we be in good shape when every time we turn around we're adding that we need to purchase, and then now you're talking about we may need to do another substation. Where's all this money coming from? The citizens, we can't keep upping on the citizens.
These funds for this truck does not come from our current budget. They are coming from impact fees we've already collected on new homes that are being built.
But I thought that was to be used for something else, the impact fees.
Impact fees are to be used for equipment and other things of that nature. It cannot be used on personnel. So, if we build another 200 homes and we accrue another $190,000, that $190,000 could be used and will be used, if you approve it, for a new substation, to help pay for a new substation.
Yeah, this is exactly what impact fees are designed to keep the onus off the citizens having to add to infrastructure.
This does not affect our current budget.
But I agree, Ms. Williams, I agree with the when we go into budgeting. Last year in our budget process, we were in the middle of hiring city manager, trying to put everything together. We're going to be this year, I think we're going to be able to get out in front of this a lot better than we were last year. I mean, I think and do the kinds of budget prep that we've talked about doing before, so.
Each department head, when we do their budget this year, we're going back to having them come and present their budget to you and what their needs are. And that's a part of the strategic plan that we're going to begin to talk about on January the 8th.
Okay.
Mayor, if I could throw one in.
Sure.
When we were doing the budget, both the camera systems and the fire truck, as well as other items, were proposed by each department. And through discussions, we had decided to put those off until the following year. When we discussed the fire truck, if we went purchasing a brand new truck, that's a 3 to 4 year build, so we had to plan 3 to 4 years out. All these things have been taken into consideration. The opportunity that we have here is we have the opportunity to get a truck that would cost us $2 million plus. We bought it brand new for somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. That's why we decided to enact on that. If it does fit our needs, it makes sense for us to save that money and then utilize other monies that will be coming into the city for the substations and other projects. Like Joey said, the camera system for cars, the police cars, and the body cams, those were all discussed, and we thought we could get another year out of it. Now, if I had done a budget and we said we had to have one of these, but we didn't have the budget money, we would have used transfers in from our other funds, like from the state pool. So some of our reserves, whether it be impact fees or reserve fees, that's how we would have budgeted and, made the budget balance if we had that and didn't have the money for it at that point. Everything that I've done from operating on our finances right now has been without touching our reserves. So that's where we try to go first.
Let me ask you, you said talking about the 3-year build out for if you're trying for a new truck, doing something like this, is that a void? I mean, that it's ready now, right? Or it's not a situation where we're going to get caught short and not have that, and our ISO can.
Right, we can take delivery of this truck within the first quarter of the year.
Have we put eyes on this truck? Have we physically put eyes on this truck? Or are we just talking about something we saw online, so we don't know the physical condition?
Yeah, I stated earlier that we had 2 firefighters going down to look at this truck, and also our Sutphen dealer that we deal with here in the upstate is also going to take a look at it. And the Sutphen dealer in Florida will be there to inspect this truck and before we make a decision. We're just asking you tonight that if we get there and we see this is a good buy, the truck is in great condition, and we're just asking that you give us the approval to move on it when they get there.
So we will have looked at it and inspected it thoroughly by experts,
Yes,
our experts and the Sutphen experts.
That's correct. And they will come back and we will sit down and discuss what they saw and then make the decision to move or not.
Because I don't know how a 17-year-old truck can be in that good a condition. I mean, we wouldn't go out and purchase I know that may be different from purchasing a vehicle versus what you're talking about purchasing, but we still talking 17 years, and how many mileage does this truck have on it? And I mean, that's a lot.
The alternative is to spend $2 million plus.
well, sometimes you have to save and do what you have to do than to purchase a 17-year-old truck, and then within a year, you find out that you got to put in $50,000 or whatever for repairs.
Mr. Mayor, I've got two questions, please. First one, I thought from a few years ago, we were always supposed to know the number of hours on the vehicle, not necessarily a year and make and model.
They will bring back the number of hours.
So we don't know the number of hours this truck's been in operation?
I do not know at this time.
If you look in the report, the current motor that sits in that truck only has 40,000 miles on it.
So it's a rebuilt motor, or is it a new motor that was put in?
It doesn't say, but that's it.
I think that's really important to know then.
If I may, in the notes that you have, this truck has been well maintained. It is currently in use at the fire department that it is at in Florida. The truck will remain with them should we make a decision to purchase this truck. It will remain with them until they get their new truck. This truck has been well maintained. It is current on all inspections. From what we've been told, everything is running well with this truck. It's a good truck. Chief Marshall, a captain from the department, and as Mr. Meadows said, they have a representative from Sutton that will be dealing with them. They're actually making this truck tomorrow. They'll be flying down, coming back tomorrow night. They're going to take a look at the truck. They're going to look everything over. Should we decide to make this purchase, they will have a bumper-to-bumper review of this truck before going through with the purchase. Now, if you have questions about the specifics with the mechanics, I don't speak car driver, but I have a couple of firefighters here who can tell you more about the mileage and things like that if you have questions for them.
I just knew we were always instructed to find out the number of hours that the vehicle had on it, and with a rebuilt motor in there, or whatever kind of motor it is, whether it's a new one or not, there had to be a reason something was done with that, but I'm sure through the inspection and looking back over records, we'll find that information out.
And why are they getting rid of
It's a
it?
Detroit diesel, which is a very good engine.
So it's just been rebuilt then?
No, it's not been rebuilt. It's the original engine in the truck.
What did Ms. Stevens just say?
He said it had 40,000 miles on it.
It said it had 40,000 miles on it.
They're not going
So
far.
why are they getting rid of it?
Sometimes fire departments, they put in their budget every so many years, every 5 to 10 years, to replace a apparatus. So this one is just being replaced. It's in the budget to replace it. That's how they do sometimes. Not necessarily because there's a problem with the apparatus with the truck, but just because it's time to upgrade to a new one.
There's mention made of this in our packet, but
Yeah.
with diesel engines too, newer is not always better. There's a lot of new
True.
emission standards that new engines are having a lot of issues.
This is a pre-def engine, and we have seen on some of the trucks we now have in our possession, DEF problems. They have to regenerate, and Gary can attest to this, they have to regenerate every so often, and they have given a lot of problems. We have the same problems with vehicles that we house in the street sanitation and utility department. So we feel like we're getting a good truck. We will know after they do their inspection tomorrow, and we won't make a decision on anything to purchase the truck if there's anything that is suspect. I won't spend the city's money on something that we as a group don't feel like we should.
And, okay, thank you for that. And my only other question was, will we have a bay to put this truck in upon its arrival now without having to build a substation?
Yes. We can house it.
Yes.
So so we've got an empty base somewhere?
We have space that we can house. Yes.
Okay. Because it definitely does
We
need
will
to be
not,
well.
as Mr. Metter said, we will not be taking possession of the truck until they get their new truck. And so we're looking at maybe April or May of next year before getting the truck, because they are expecting their truck in March, the first part of the year. So as soon as they get their new apparatus, we will take possession of the truck. And that $500,000 that we will not exceed that will include the purchase of the truck, all the reviews of the truck, bumper to bumper review of it, plus the shipping to get the truck here from Florida to South Carolina.
So we also banking on with the closing, because I see $195,000 from the sale of Leonard property. This is not money that we have now. This is something that we,
That's coming up with the closing on that property very soon.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I think we've discussed it thoroughly. And so we have a motion and a second.
Is this a one-time thing, or
Yeah.
first, second reading? Okay.
This is if we're giving them
yes,
the ability to go down and check it out and make sure it's the right thing. And if it's the experts say it is, then we can buy it and get it in service.
so they don't have to come back to us and let us know a report of their finding.
No,
Is that what
that's
That's what I'm asking.
yeah, yes,
So-
ma'am.
We
Right.
have first right of refusal on this truck, so we have to move with our inspection and make sure that it's what we need and the condition that it's in, and it will be, you're giving us the authority to move on that truck if it checks out.
And if their new truck gets delayed, will we still have an opportunity to review the truck again before we final deal?
We can work that out.
Okay. All right. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
Opposed?
Okay, and the motion carries 6-1. Thank you. Okay. Go
And
ahead.
then item number 12 on our agenda tonight is the approval of the 2026 council meeting calendar and the 2026 City of Clinton holiday schedule. You have those in your packets, and Sonia has put those together for us. There were no changes proposed on the holiday calendar for city employees. And then the council calendar was done as first Monday of the month, unless there was something that we looked up as far as a municipal association meeting that council would be attending. So they're pretty much status quo.
Labor Day.
Okay. So I'm assuming everybody's had a chance to look at that. We've had it.
September 7th.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking, September 7th on here. That would be Labor Day, correct?
Yes.
So we would need to, huh?
We will get that.
We'll change that to so that would be we'd do that the following Monday or the Monday before. No, it'd be in August.
In August?
No, if you went the Monday before. I was counting backwards, Ms. Williams, and you know I can hardly count forward, so.
And then we need to change that council meeting date where it says, the following date, it should be saying 2026 instead of 2025.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That will be correct.
So that's why I was wondering, was these calendar dates correct? That we didn't accidentally look at 25 instead of 26?
We will correct that tomorrow.
No, the other dates
and-
are correct.
And email you the corrected schedules.
Okay. This is pretty standard boilerplate, and hopefully we won't have to change anything. But we will look at the Labor Day date. Okay.
Oh,
It'll be the 14th.
are we putting this on a motion and then discussion, or?
Yeah, we'll need to have a motion first. Let's go ahead and move.
I'll move.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Walsh to to accept the calendar for 2026. And a second from Mr. Kirkendall. Okay, now anything else?
Different from that, so it'll be September the 14th instead of the 7th.
No, it's the 7th. Labor Day is the 7th.
Right, so.
But
we're
Right,
gonna have
Monday-
the
but we
meeting-
won't,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'll be the 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
I would like to, I know we talked about, work sessions, quarterly. July is, infamous for vacations and difficulties. I just was wondering if we might want to push the July 20th work session to August.
We can, we just, when
Sure.
Tanya did that, she just picked the quarterly date that we would do those on. But we can adjust that, we can adjust it now, or we can adjust it closer to time.
Either way, I just wanted to
Whichever
put
you
that,
prefer.
I know July is,
Right.
lots of
Yeah.
people make plans, and especially
Well,
with.
We
the-
have.
Yeah,
we
municipal
have PNPA
association. Yeah.
Conference then,
Right.
municipal association conference, so, but we can adjust that, like I said, now, or we can adjust it closer to, that date.
We'll probably know better in August. I mean, we'll probably know better closer to that date,
Yes, sir.
what else is going on.
Will the city be observing 4th of July? Because that'll be falling on a Saturday. Will they be observing that on Monday, the 6th? Because the 4th will fall on Saturday.
It's, it will be
They're
observed
gonna
on
be
Friday,
reserved.
July 3rd.
They're gonna,
Yeah,
okay, so.
it's on the list.
Okay, so the city will be in operation on the 6th.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is just a personal, that probably doesn't affect as many other people on council, but we get these breaks in the school district, and our meetings always seem to fall on them. Fall on our spring break and our fall break in October. I, for one, if we maintain the April 6th date, I will not be here. But you all feel free to proceed without my charming face.
We put a picture up.
You can have a little sign. Yes, I'll make a flat Megan for you.
I appreciate what you say.
So just, it is what it is.
That's right. Okay.
I'm gonna miss some of them too.
Oh.
These dates are, our ordinance says first Monday in July, first Monday in each month.
Unless it's a
But
holiday.
we have changed them over the years to accommodate
If we
some
need
of those
to.
things. So that's left up to this body right here to do that.
Okay.
We should be okay.
All right, so we have a motion and a second and a general consensus of accepting, I think. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
Is this on the, are we voting on the council calendar as well as the holiday schedule? Or are we
Yeah,
doing
the
that
holiday,
separately?
the holiday schedule, he said, was basically boilerplate, it's the same as every year. So I think we did them both.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's
That's
all I have
approved.
tonight, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. City Manager, for your report?
For my report, I do want to report that the police department and the fire department have now taken up residence in 404 North Broad Street. We're still working out some things there, but operations are there at this time and moving forward. We had a meeting at the recreation complex last Wednesday. Let the road dry up after the rain tomorrow, but go out there and take a look at it. About all they still need to do is put up backstops. They're gonna be working on fences, and we will be getting scoreboards in to get those up. But all practical purposes, it is almost complete. So we're thankful for that, and we'll be moving forward into the spring with baseball from the YMCA, and we have some leads on some early tournaments that we possibly can host there, soccer and baseball. So we're working on those as we speak.
It'd be nice if we could have a ceremonial ribbon cutting.
We're going to have that in the works also. I want to get it complete, but there's a time frame I would like to get that worked into, and we will begin working on that right away.
Definitely.
So we can get that completed. I do want to remind you, I think each one of you have a sheet on your desk, but we have the tree lighting Thursday night at 6. The tree will be placed back down at the depot. It will not be out here, so it will be held at the depot this year. And the Christmas parade will be at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And
I think that'll
we
be
will
good.
advise, the weather doesn't look that great, but we're going to keep an eye on it, and if at all possible, get that off if it's not a downpour. And we're going to have a meeting about that this week, so we will advise you what happens there.
Okay.
And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give us a report on the lighting,
The
street lights. I mean,
lights?
Christmas light, I'm sorry.
Okay, you'll probably see down South Broad Street tonight, there are Christmas lights up and burning. We have rewired all of the trees in front of the parking lots and all of the buildings, and those will come on Thursday night. So everything is moving, is scheduled. The tree is scheduled to go up in the rain tomorrow. So they're, working very hard to get this done. And as I've said earlier, Helene did a number on the wiring for all of our trees and our poles down Broad Street. And so they have been working, and the lights on the building, so they have been working very diligently over the last 3 weeks or so to get it back up and looking like it has in the past. Not like it looked last year, but what it looked like years before. So.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I did include my financial report for the 4 months through October in your package. Not a whole lot has changed in our outlook. When I actually compared this October to last October, we were within $75,000 on revenue. So everything is running as planned. Our negative fund balance so far is $318,000. Not surprising at this time of the year. That's how we, since our major revenues don't start coming in until next, January, February, March. There's really nothing of a whole lot of surprises. Our impact, the things that I did look at, we are ahead so far in October on impact fees, business licenses, and our lost funding that we get from the state. Those are picking up, and actually in November we had, which would have been payment for October, because the lost funding is actually a month behind. We actually picked up about $20,000 of lost money from this time last year. So things like that are picking up and helping our situation. On the utility side, once again, we show a positive fund balance change of just over $1 million. The majority of that is coming through, it's coming from a couple things, but the actual increase over last year is our electric billings are a little bit higher this year. They're actually about 4% higher than they were last year, which equates to about $350,000. But on the flip side, our purchased electricity, we've close usually it's about 67% of what we bill out. Right now, we're running just under 62%. So that little bit there also helps us save a lot of money, and that's what's helping the utility fund get a little bit, at least keep ground. I actually, on the utility fund for the month of October, it was pretty much a break-even month, which is typical. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions for Mr. Stevens? I appreciate the report that you give us each month, and always like to hear when we're tracking the right way. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Cook, anything?
Just a couple things. Excited about the planning that's gone in from Main Street and whatever help the city's been in regards to that, and with the placement of the lights and all that for a very nice Clinton Christmas. That's super there. What is the appropriate number for residents to call if street lights are out?
That would be 833-7520. That's to Mickey at the public.
Okay, that is, okay, Mickey, okay. All right. And because we do have some neighborhoods that some lights have gone out recently and they just haven't been replaced, and it's getting dark earlier, and just for safety reasons and all of that.
Yeah, they'll let us know, we'll get a work order made and
Okay.
get out there and get those done. I will say that right now, while they're putting up Christmas decorations and trying to get those up before Saturday, it may take a little bit longer to get it
Okay.
done.
All right. But thank you very much. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Ms. Williams?
Gosh. I want to thank the city of Clinton and all of those that participated during the Thanksgiving holidays. There was a lot of giveaways throughout the city. People cared so much in the community where they fed the community. They gave out food, gave out free turkeys. A lot of that went on the last couple of weeks, so definitely want to thank the citizens of Clinton and those businesses that volunteered, and the citizens that volunteered to feed. And it wasn't just to the homeless, it was to anyone that needed a plate, anyone that wanted to come out to get a meal. I know we did it on last Saturday, and other places did it as well. So I want to thank the community for coming together during the Thanksgiving holidays. It really made a difference. I truly believe it made a difference in a lot of people's lives, and it was well received, and it felt good to be able to give to those and to give back. So, and then looking forward to what we got coming up the week of December the 4th through the 7th. A very nice Clinton Christmas. So looking forward to that. I want to thank the city, Mr. Meadows and your staff with the lightings. I've called on several occasions with lights that was out, as well as other things that have gotten corrected. Of course, we still have things that need to be corrected, but I thank the city for responding to some of the concerns in the neighborhood, especially with Lydia Mill, that area. So want to thank you for that as well. And let us just continue to be thankful throughout this season, and let us, if we can find any way to give, let us give. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Cogswell?
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know it's a busy season for everybody, and hope everybody says stay safe and be careful out there.
Thank you. Mr. Kirkendall?
I just want to, I'm excited about Christmas, and I hope the whole town is. So we've got a lot that's going on. I'm excited about some new businesses that's come into town. And I think about other places that's still reeling from the hurricane that we're struggling through for so many months, and we're beginning to see a lot of great signs about our town where we've overcome a lot of obstacles. Still got a long way to go. And I think that's what's hindered a lot of our street lighting and everything else. I know we've got people that are working closely with other areas in town to try to improve safety with streets, and I just think we've got a good future ahead of us. And I want to thank the folks from the highways out near the new ball fields that are going to be coming. You know, I appreciate those that care for, you know, I like to ride my bike down those roads. And, you know, traffic is going to be a problem in areas, but that's a sign of success. So we've got to manage that traffic. East Side School right now in a given afternoon is horrendous. You know, out in front of the high school, you know, as things and possibilities occur, we're going to have to address them with safety, and but that's part of being you know, blessed with some opportunities. But I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank the United Way for giving out a lot of turkeys and hams before Thanksgiving. It was good to see the response, and also the people who gave that food and money to purchase that food so that it could be passed out to those who needed it. So, thank you all. That's it.
Ms. Walsh. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we've got a lot going on. So it's a great time of year. I think I'm glad that our Christmas parade is going to be at 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. It just seems like we'll have time for a lot more people to get down there. And so it takes a long time to get all this crowd loaded up on a fire truck too. So it's a good thing, and encourage everybody to take advantage of all the activities that that city and that Main Street has put together, and we want to say a special thanks to our crew that's been working on the lights. You know, I remember for so many years, Mr. Truman Owens said we need lights around all these buildings down here, and the year we finally got them, I've never seen anybody smile bigger than he did. So I hope this will make a lot of smiles this year when they've gotten everything rewired and lit back up again this year. So we appreciate everybody's good thoughts, everybody's concerns for their concerns. We hear everything. We try to do the best for our city with what we've got in our as we grow and as we advance, and which Clinton is on the cusp of doing some great things, and we say that every year and we mean it. So we're excited about it, and I appreciate all this group. The season of Thanksgiving, city council members, you know, come in here and give up time and try to make good decisions and do it in a very professional and collegial way. And I appreciate this group that I get to work with all year long. So our staff is second to none. Appreciate everything that they do. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas as we go into this Christmas season, and looking forward to getting started on the planning for next year when we get to January. So if there's nothing else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion from Ms. Walsh, a second from Ms. Williams. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.